Hello again. Let's get into the Instant Farmer, chapter number 5. It is just about dinner time. Ken is expecting a phone call from Greg. The last few hours were spent on the couch. None of the electronics were in use. Not his television, not his radio, nothing. Ken spent the time staring at the box of seeds that were carefully placed on his coffee table. Wow, these seeds are good. The phone rings. It is Greg calling about going out for dinner. Greg wants to find out what type of food that Ken wants to eat tonight. Ken tells him that he is in the mood for Thai food. There is this great Thai restaurant that has been in business for 8 years. They will be celebrating their 8th year anniversary all week. That sounds like a plan. They finalize the time and location for meeting, then hang up the phone. Ken hurries to his room so he can get dressed to go out with his best friend. He is extra quick to pick out his clothes today. He wants to hurry back to the couch so he can stare at the seeds again. Now that is amazing. He has decided that he will leave the seeds in the apartment while he is out. That was a very tough decision. He was seriously contemplating bringing the seeds with him tonight. Let the obsession begin. Ken is waiting outside the Thai restaurant for his friend to arrive. He is taking a look at his watch every 12 seconds. That behavior must stop. He has the willpower to notice his actions and to correct his behavior. That is difficult to do. To have that type of self-awareness is amazing. There he is. Greg has just arrived. The two friends say hello to each other with a smile and a handshake. Greg was rather impressed that Ken chose to go out for Thai food. Well, this restaurant is celebrating their anniversary. So, let the celebration begin with dinner. The restaurant is very busy tonight. It seems like all of the tables are in use. The waiter comes up to them and ushers them towards an empty table that is tucked away out of sight. There, they have a table now. The smell of the restaurant is incredible. A pleasant aroma is always a good sign in a crowded restaurant. The waiter has arrived to their table with menus and a pot full of tea. He tells the two men, "Thank you for choosing our restaurant tonight. That is such a nice touch. The hospitality is much appreciated." He then leaves the table and lets the two men browse the menu. Ken says, "This place is great. That waiter was so nice. So what looks good tonight?" Greg says, "Yeah, I am really glad we picked this restaurant tonight." Ken says, "Everything on the menu looks delicious." Greg says, "It is going to be a good decision one way or the other." Ken says, "Yeah, you are right about that. Decision time." Looking through the menu was enjoyable. Ken has stopped on a sweet basil chicken dish with steamed rice on the side. He shares his choice with Greg. Greg likes that one. He feels like getting pad thai. Maybe even asking the waiter to make it extra spicy. Now, that sounds like fun. So, it will be spicy pad thai for Greg and sweet basil chicken for Ken. The waiter has arrived at their table again, this time so he can take their order for dinner. He takes their order quickly, then heads back to the kitchen so he can place the order with the chef. Everything is going well. Ken asks Greg how much he enjoyed his day off. Greg starts to laugh. He makes the joke that the post office never takes time off. Ken laughs at the joke. Ken goes on to say that things are going well on his new project. Greg smiles and takes a sip of tea. The food has arrived. It looks delicious. They both start to eat at the same time. Not much to talk about during dinner. That is a bit strange because Ken is known to be a little chatty while he eats. Ken finally comes up with something to say. He wants the two of them to ask the waiter for a mango milkshake each. That will be for dessert, of course. Greg laughs and agrees at the same time. With dinner and dessert finished, the two of them are trying to decide who will pay the bill. Ken really doesn't want to let Greg pay the bill, and eventually Greg makes the decision to stand down on paying. So, the bill comes to the table. Ken pays it with his credit card. Everything is good. The waiter leaves the table. Outside of the restaurant, the air is so fresh. Greg takes a big breath of air. He then asks Ken if he is feeling okay. He tells Ken that his behavior was odd today, almost as if Ken is distracted. He wants to make sure everything is well. Ken kind of shrugs it off, and he says the new project at work is really huge for the company. That means they will be under a lot of pressure. Greg wants to believe him, except it feels different. It is not a high pressure kind of feeling. It is something else, like a secret. They say goodbye to each other, and that the meal was perfect. They wish the restaurant a happy anniversary, then go in different directions. Greg is completely unaware of his secret. He has absolutely no reason to be suspicious either. Ken wants to hurry home so he can grow something exotic in his apartment. That concludes this chapter. I hope you enjoyed listening. Again, if you want to read along with me, then you should pick up a copy of my ebook from Kindle. Goodbye until the next chapter.